Good morning, everybody.
Wide awake while the world is sound asleep, and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories, they somehow never leave you.
Good morning, my fellow avatars, space travelers. God only knows
what you've been through. God only knows.
Take some big breaths.
God only knows how it's killing you.
Just us chickens today. What are some of the ahas you had? Some of the awarenesses that popped in?
Can I?
Sure, please.
I. So the moment you said, we are just spiritual beings, living. Oh no,
A
it's
human
gone.
experience.
Wait. Yeah. And I've heard that before, but now it's kicked in some way. But it's, I think for me, it's sometimes, and maybe for other people, it's sometimes difficult to realize that we are just spiritual beings, and that's the, that's a physical not really matters, but it's so a big challenge to detach from the physical. You know what I mean?
And it's because we're in our brain. When we move to our heart and our heart energy, this is where they talk about brain-heart coherence. When the brain and the heart operate in an alignment, there's a coherent frequency that happens. And what happens is when those two activate and act in harmony, they begin to open up the pineal gland, which is supposedly, science says and research has proven, the gateway to the everythingness. And the reason that we can't seem to quite find it, and we can't seem to quite access it, is because we're doing what Wallace D. Wattles says. We're doing certain things. We're doing meditation. We're not doing it in a certain way. We're doing gratitude, but we're not quite doing it in a certain way. When we start doing things in our spiritual energy, which is endless and unlimited, we then begin to see the capabilities of our own past and present and future, and we begin to access. And this is where Hill talks about when it all switches, we wonder where all this was during all the lean times, because it was always here. Everything you want is as close as your skin. And when that sinks in, we realize that we're always walking into our greatness because it's as close as our skin. Any way we move, just me moving that, I moved into my greatness. But we don't recognize that. We don't allow the greatness for us to flow into the greatness. We keep to seem pushing it away. That's why we have to be strong. We got to keep pushing away our greatness, pushing away our amazingness, pushing away the things that we want, because they're seeking us. Behind every door that you're trying to push open is everything you want. And the thing is, there's no more pushing necessary. The doors don't open by pushing, they open by pulling. And you have to back away from the thing that has been stressing you. And as soon as you back away, you give it the space to flow even more closer and deeper into you. So thank you for being here.
And yeah, thank you for letting me. But what are the steps? Just
that strategy.
Yeah.
there's the step right there. That state, that smile, that laughter. But if you stayed in that state, Sophie, what would people say about you? If you just walked around going, "Hi, how are you? Hi," she's like, there's something wrong with her. Absolutely. I want people to say there's something wrong with me, because it's the first time I've been right. Wrong to others might be the first time we're right to ourselves. Do you know anything about boats?
On the water.
So they talk about riding a boat. And what they mean by riding a boat or riding something is it's usually capsized. It's usually upside down, and we need to right it. We need to put it in its right state. We need to right ourselves. We are running around with capsized people. People who see lack, people who see limit. And if we right ourselves, not them, network marketing tries to help people right themselves. The challenge is we get a little bit right and we want to go right everybody. We want to go fix everybody. You should, and we do injected values and we say, you should do this. Do you make enough money? Well, we know they don't make enough money. Why would we want to remind them? Do you have enough free time? No, I don't have enough free time. Then you should fix that. And all they can hear is when they should fix that, they should do that, is all they can see is their limits. And we're not healing them, we're hurting them. Which is why there's a 90+% failures, because we hurt people. I love what network marketing can do for people. I despise what it does to people. Think of how many people we force into lies. They say yes to an event. Oh, I couldn't make it to the event. My cat died. That's a lie. I couldn't make it to the event. I had to go to the dentist. That's a lie. We force so many lies onto people. Listen, if we got paid for how many lies we forced people to have, I would be a bazillionaire for my first 5 years in the business. I forced more people to lie than you could shake a stick at, because I made them uncomfortable.
But isn't that what we are supposed to do?
We have to make them uncomfortable with their future, not ours.
What do you mean?
Okay, so when I ask somebody to join me in business, what's the thing they say? Well, everybody at the top makes money. They can't see themselves winning. They don't understand that if they join me in business, they get to leverage me. They all they can see is based upon their past is that they are going to be leveraged. All they can see is another job. That's why they don't want to do this. If everybody truly understand the philosophy of building your own business and not having to have inventory infrastructure and call centers and shipping departments, if people truly understand what a business needed to operate, and everybody wants to own their own business. If I could own a business and not have to have a business, holy crap. That's why I'm not in business of building a business. I'm in the business of building people. The company builds the business. The company does the marketing. The company does the shipping. The company does the compensation plan. The company does the research. I don't do any of that. I don't even pay for any of that. When I learned that I can take care of me and help other people's begin to step into their dreams, we're all going to have to do something. The challenge is their doing isn't rewarding them. If you're broke at the end of the month, you're not being rewarded. You're in slavery. I know that's a strong word, but you can't quit. How many of us have ever had a job we can't quit till we find another one? That's slavery, where you have no control over your future. You're limited. So you're saying that you should sign up for something and be limited in your capability and capacity? How fast can you become the president of your company? I don't think anybody signs up going, I'm going from the mail room to the CEO room. But we write books about people who do. And we don't unwire our capability. We don't step back so we can see the movie that was playing called traditional business, traditional income models. Have you ever tried an unconditional income model? I don't know what that means. Then we should probably have a conversation. Because how much inventory do you have in money right now? You would call it savings, but if I'm running a business, I call it inventory. How much inventory do you have in money? Your business is going to be broke.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So how much money do you have in the bank? Don't tell me, but would you like to have more money in the bank?
Mm-hmm.
That's your inventory. Imagine dollar bills as inventory, $100 bills as inventory. If you go, what's a grocery store? What's a store you go to where you go shopping at?
For food?
Okay, so when you go there and you look for oranges, do they have a stock of oranges? Do they have a pile of oranges or apples?
Yes.
That's called their inventory. What happens if there's only 3 oranges left and they're not good? Do you buy them?
No.
No. That's what happens to most people's jobs. They only have 3 choices of how to create income and they don't like any of them. So they don't switch the way they make income. If you really wanted oranges, what would you do, Sophie? If that store didn't have oranges, what would you do if you really needed oranges for a recipe?
Go to another store?
Excellent. Why won't other people go to another gig? Why doesn't everybody have 4 or 5 gigs, side gigs to create income? Because they're happy with being in lack. And we come along and say, you should go shopping at this new store. You should see this. They have everything. They got all the oranges you want. And you're like, nah, I gave up on oranges. People have wired themselves into the story. They're not healed. They're satisfied with being broke. They talk about it. Have you ever known anybody to be in a relationship, a bad relationship, way too long?
Yes.
Why don't we leave the relationship? That's the stupidest thing on the planet. And then when we finally do, we're like, I was so stupid. I can't believe I stayed there that long. That's how most people are with their income. Money, right? We don't talk about money. Money is embarrassing. Money is scary. Money is, ugh, I don't understand it. Well, when you understand all you do is bring value to people, you'll get more money. People pay for value. Do you ever pay €5 for a bottle of water?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you ever buy that same bottle of water for €2? Why'd you pay more for it?
There was no other at that moment.
So why don't people pay more to join you in network marketing? Because they don't understand how valuable it is. We have to upgrade the value we are helping people find. The challenge is that the brain looks for 2 things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? And the challenge is that they think they understand what it is we do because we let them. Oh, I don't like to talk to people. I'm not good at sales. Anybody ever hear that about this business? I'm not good at sales. Well, you're pretty darn good if you're trying to sell me that you're not good at sales. You're pretty convinced of that. You're sold on that. But we don't have we choose to not understand we're talking to a human being, not a distributor. We're talking to people who have hurts and sorrows and wants and wishes and desires. And so this is where it's required that we understand human nature. So when we sit in this frequency, when you decide to be more, all of a sudden people start showing up around you and going, I just love your energy. And because we're not familiar with people loving our energy, we go, oh, yeah, well, thank you. And we try to just absolutely shoot a hole in our own energy. I know it gets me through the day. It's awesome. Thank you for noticing. So what business are you in?
Me?
Sure.
People business?
Sure. So sound like a question instead of an answer. I'm in the more business. What do you want more of? And usually it takes money to have more of what we want. Does your current income model allow you to have more money to have more of what you want? No, then are you open to looking to ways to increase your income? And if you could hire me to help you do that, would you? That's the power of our business. I get to go to work with you. Are you okay with working with a winning team? Do you know what a winning team looks like? When's the last time you were on a winning team? Or are you the Lone Ranger? Do I need to go get you a mask and a horse so you could be the Lone Ranger and go do it all by yourself? That's the problem most people have with our profession, is they don't think anybody will help. The challenge is most people can't help. They've pumped up their capability and capacity so much that when somebody goes, okay, show me the real deal, there's nothing to show. So anyways, that was off on a tangent. Did you enjoy did you enjoy the meditation?
It was amazing.
Okay, good. Thank you for allowing me to participate in your live yesterday. That was fun.
Thank you so much. So many people sent me a message how amazing it was and what did they learn and everything. So it was really nice. Thank you.
Cool. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My first live in Belgium. Who else? Thoughts, comments, takeaways? What'd you learn? What'd you like?
Sean.
Good morning, Paul.
Yeah, it was good this morning. It's funny. It's not funny. It's just, you almost expect that when you need something, you're going to get it in some form or other.
Yep.
And this was it this morning, because the last couple of days I've been dealing with a few issues in my business, and you just learn that sometimes you just have to let things go, but it's okay to voice your disappointment at others' integrity.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to change it, so there's no use sitting in it. So this morning this was good, because it kind of took me out of that, and moved me on, because it's amazing sometimes how this stuff can you realize that it makes you stuck, right? It stops you from forward motion, and I don't want to stop the forward motion.
Yep.
So if that's going to be without a huge team that I should have been under my line, then so be it. So thank you.
Feel that energy. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean doesn't mean you have to like it, but I realized through the meditation that if I keep hanging on to this and I don't release it, then they say bless and release.
That's it.
If I don't, then I'll stay stuck. And I already felt it in the last 2 days that I wasn't, like, I was so. And then the worst part is, right, you talk to a few others, and that just puts you in the wrong space. Like, just resolve it yourself. I wrote a letter and sent it. So that was my way of putting out my my feelings that, you know, this is not ethical, this is not integrity, this is not right. But I don't have any control over it.
Right.
And so, you know, let it go, but don't come and ask me to do something else down the road, because I just won't do it. I won't put my energy into something that is, and it's not that it's not that I expect, you know, something good for myself, but
right is right.
But right is right, exactly. When it comes to integrity, I always say, like, I'm a man of my word. And it was funny at there was another thing that somebody didn't join my business because they said, you know, I asked you about this, and you know, you never responded. And I said, no, I just said, well, I'm sorry. I guess, you know, sometimes those things happen. But I said that I'm kind of surprised, because I said that's one of my strong points is follow-up. But when I got home, you know, it's sitting in the back of your mind. And I went and you know, I keep all my past conversations and stuff. And I went in and had a look, and I thought, yeah, you asked, and I sent it to you the same day. So no, I didn't follow up after that. That's on me. That, you know, that's okay. That was on me. But to tell me that I did not respond, I just thought, Jesus, that something really must have been going on, because that is not me. And sure enough, and then I thought to myself, so should I just send this to her and just say, by the way, I did respond to you, and you never responded back?
I would. I'd say, listen, here's the response, and my apology for not making sure I followed up a second and a third time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then, but again, just to release it and let it go and just move on, right? I mean, you know,
For sure.
Because yesterday I had the time, I took my mom's car in to get the serviced and snow tires put on. And I always leave it at my mechanics, who I've been dealing with for 35 years. And I always walk down to the Starbucks. So I camped out there for about 4 hours. But it gave me some time just sitting there too. You know, I love people watching and watching people, but it gave me some time just to sit back and enjoy a coffee and just, you know, think about things. And that's where I realized that this stuff was just, it was almost like putting on the emergency brake, you know, while you're going. And I thought, you know, I do not want to stop the momentum that's going, you know. If it ain't going to be these people, it'll be somebody else. So it was good. And then this morning, this healing meditation was just what I needed to, you know, once and for all, just say, okay, like, we're just gonna keep moving on. Keep doing what I was doing, because the momentum was there, and we'll take it forward. But what is it? It's the 10th. And this morning I opened up my back office, and I got to my rank of director, which is one below my lifetime rank. And this month was a new record. I got there in 10 days. So, you know, yeah, I don't want to stop that kind of momentum. I want to keep it going. I want to hit my lifetime rank in 10 days so that I can move up to the next one. So that's, you know, it's, and again, it's got nothing to do with the rank, but it's got a lot to do with the money and building. So, and helping others. So that, yeah, that just, it all fell into place. And this morning was just perfect and just what I needed. So thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations. That's awesome. Very cool. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, feedback, feed forwards before I let you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Paul, for that, because I'm sitting here in a really of two minds, because since I came back from the ranch, our wash machine has been working. And we've had people in, and this guy came in the other day and he said, you know, it's the water sensor because the water kept filling and wouldn't stop, and the door sensor. And so I said, okay. And he said, I'll order the parts and let you know. And then before he left, he goes, you know what? I think I don't like the drum. We'll replace that. So my husband got a call from the warranty company. I mean, it's not even 2 years old. And I don't know what happened when I was away. Anyway, so they called and they said, we're going to cut you a check for $700. And basically that was it. And so the guy that came to fix our stove went at the same time. So the guy came to fix the stove. So we just talked to him a little while ago just to get another opinion. And he said, well, it looks like they don't want to do the work, so they're writing it off. But I mean, I'm a person who likes to do laundry. It's kind of, but anyway, so yeah, we were in that kind of state. My husband was really annoyed, and I said, okay, we have to put it out there that it's going to be fixed, or we're going to get a solution and not have to go that route, because to buy a new washing machine, it's going to be anywhere from 12 and up plus tax. So it's not even covering it.
Wow.
So yes. So thank you, Paul, for that, and for the meditation, Sean, for just changing your state back to where you should be.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So thank you.
Yeah, I felt it this morning. I woke up, I was thinking about some people in my world who needed some healing, and from the black sides of the backstage, I heard finances speak out going, hey, nobody's ever tried to heal me. And I asked him, I said, what are you talking about? Because it was his dollar bill, right? I said, your finances. He says, I know, but a lot of people have they think sickly about finances. So, all right, we'll jump in the healing pool. And it was this energetic field, and then healing, and then relationships showed up and go, well, we always talk about healing relationships, but nobody ever really heals relationships. I said, well, jump in the pool. And so I had all of these things that were non-traditional things to be healed. I said, well, I said, am I supposed to do a healing this morning? I said, yeah. I said, I'm not a healer. Well, you may think that, but you kind of are. I'm like, okay. So that's where that came from this morning. I was at 3:45. That was actually 3 o'clock this morning. Usually Dubby is the instigator of my meditative ideas, because they'll usually bark at 3 a.m, something somewhere. And they bark at such a state that it makes you get up to go look at what are they barking at. But he was up by the coop. So I don't know if he chased something away or whatever. But then when I go back to sleep, that's when all of this stuff starts. So I'm not mad that they wake me up. I go, ooh, this must be going to be a good meditation this morning. That's funny. Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments? And sending great wishes, Diane, for the washer and for the stove, and magical, what would Daniela say? Magical outcomes. Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments on this Friday morning? Be aware how most people's energy shift today, that it's the start of the weekend, WEAK, the weekend. They want to get done with their income model so they can go blow it. Just be aware of that.
I had another question, Sean.
Sure, please.
And I wrote it down the other day, and I can't remember exactly what I wrote down, but it was to do with goals.
Yep.
you write your goals, and then if you write the same sort of things and you manifest the same sort of things, but it hasn't come to fruition yet, how do you change that?
So write the goal,
Mhm.
write it down, put it on a table, and walk around it.
Okay.
And look at it, read it upside down and say, what am I missing? What's right here in front of me that I need to be? It's as close as my skin. And do that at each of the quadrants, the 15 minutes, you will, of the clock. Look at it from over here going, okay, so I see this goal. What do I see different? And then write down 50 things that you could do, that you could start right away to challenge that goal.
Oh.
And literally go write 50, because I promise you the answer's coming at 48 or 49. Well, I don't know what I've thought of. Oh, crap. What's something else I could do? I don't know. I could swing from a tree like a monkey. Oh, wait a minute. That's it. That's the answer. And it's not swing like a tree from a monkey, but it's swing. It's this shift of the challenges. We're running down the bowling alley with the bumpers up.
Right.
We need to switch alleys. We're still in the bowling alley, but we need to switch alleys. We need to switch new ways to go strike down the pins. And that's what writing down 50 things. What are 50 things you could do? And you can say one of those could be, I could go put an egg in my pocket.
That makes sense. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yes. And that's how we shift it, because it's like, I keep writing it down, but we keep writing it down from the same thing. We're in the same vehicle, writing it down, going, I want a new car. Well, you got to get out of this car to get a new car. And it's just, it's opening up. And what happens is once that floodgate opens, this is the idea of the mastermind, right? When two minds get together, a third stronger one is created that has access to the total universe. So, and maybe ask your future self, hey, Diane, from 2 years from now, what would be the answer to this? What's the solution that I'm missing that you're going to see 2 years from now and go, it was right there? Does that help?
I feel like it's right there. I just can't.
It is right there. So
Yeah.
what we have to do is we have to step away from. So the other thing you could do is imagine. So we did this with Lionel on a live one time. Imagine that wall that's in front of you, that you can't see the thing. How big is the wall? How tall is the wall? Is it 6 feet tall? You can't see over it. Is it 60 feet tall? How thick is it? How wide is it? Usually most people, it's never wider than 3 or 4 feet because they're so close to it. What happens if you take one step back? Can you now see the sides of the wall? And if you take 2 steps to the right, does the wall shift and you now see through it? You now see past it. Now can you easily and effortlessly step forward into the solution? It's changing the way, this is the Wayne Dyer moment, change the way we look at things, and the things we look at change. There's a couple of ahas that have already happened while you're sitting there. I can see it. Right? So, and some of it's like, and this is the Kyle Cease, the four feelings, right? The fear and the frustration. And then the sadness. Oh my God, that's it? That was the answer? I could have done this so long ago. And then we get stuck in the, I could have done it so long ago. Then we have to accelerate ourselves to the new normal, right? To this high new energetic. And then that becomes the new normal. So those are the 4 stages, the anger and the fear. What happens if you find out the solution? What happens if you break this pattern? What happens? Hi, Fee. Did you just flip over onto my feet? I love you. That help?
Yes, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell her,
Hey,
Debbie.
for me.
Tell her. Say hi, Diane.
Hey, Debbie.
Say hi, Debbie. Say hi, Debbie. Say hi, Debbie. Say hi, Debbie. Say hi. Oh, ow, ow, Beamish, ow. Jealous. Hi, Dubby. Hi, Dub, 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 Dub.
Aw.
Anyone else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Aren't you always glad I'm wearing pants when I do that? With the camera? All right, my little eagles. I'm your head brain training, mind healing misfit. I'll see you all where?
At the next
At the
event.
next
The next
event.
event.
I love it, love it, love it. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydia's.
Be with us.
And some Jessie Lee Ward.
Awesome.
Boss
Boss
Lee.
Lee, we love you, girl. All right, everybody, have an amazing day. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Till then, bye for now.
Love you all. Enjoy the day.
Whole world's waiting on you, baby. Whole world's waiting on you. Whole world's waiting on you. Yes, I know. All right, let's go. See you, brother.